All right, so first up,
Okay.
with the intro here, it's just a lot of text mashing. You can for the text boxes that have multiple windows, you can actually mash A and down in order to progress those. And there's no need to play the tutorial level here, so they're all just going to go straight into 1-1.
Do you know if they're going to go for the perfect jump in 1-1?
Looks like Poor and Cold Thor did, I think. There's a little optimization where you can do an extended flutter off of a spinning pinwheel and still get the extra height to get up on that higher section without upspinning the Shy Guy.
Saves a small amount of time, but it involves having to do a perfect jump, which is a 1-frame window. So it's pretty difficult.
Alright, so what they're going to do here, 1-2 has a pretty difficult trick. They have to grab this Daisy enemy, and what they're going to do is they're going to spit it into the wall so that it clips inside, and when it does that, there's like a 1-frame window where Yoshi can actually bounce on that enemy. So it looks like all 4 of them got it within, 2 tries? That's pretty good. Yeah, it looks like they all got it first or second try.
The trick saves about 30 seconds, so it's pretty mandatory to go for it, but it can cost a lot of time in a race setting.
Yeah, it's very easy to get set in a reset loop on 1-2 as well. So 1-3 is our first cave level, and this is kind of where you first get introduced to like tons of slopes and a little tricky platforming. There's some like left-right sections. And what they're also going to do here is change controls by hitting that message box and switching to hasty so that they can shoot eggs by just tapping A instead of having to tap A twice. And I don't think Yamayu switches to hasty. I think he plays on patient, so that'll save him about 3 seconds or so, I think.
Yeah, and most players decide to take that small time loss because a lot of egg shots are made much easier by having the option to just tap A to shoot, whereas in patient, to get the same egg shot, you would have to press A twice really rapidly, and that would make a lot of the same egg shots very difficult.
Yeah, that's what we call a neutral shot, is when you just tap the button and the egg shoots at like its lowest possible angle. And you can also do those on patient too, but I think like you have to press A and then press A again like 7 frames after, so it's like a 1 or 2 frame trick as well. Um, 1-4. There's really not much. Looks like Poor's actually doing the top route here, which is probably around, I don't know, maybe 30 frames faster than the bottom route.
I thought it was something on the order of like 5 to 10 frames.
It could be. I don't think anybody's actually timed it properly. So coming up here, they're going to shoot an egg to hit this pot off screen, and when this key pot is off screen, it's not actually on anything. So when it gets hit by an egg off screen, it just automatically breaks, and the key flies out to whichever direction Yoshi's facing. And then you'll see them all just doing a short tongue here so that they can jump and land on top of the bird without getting hit or getting the save ring. And then Bert's a pretty straightforward boss. Just hit him with, what is it, 6 egg shots? 5 or 6?
Yeah, the only real optimization to do here is to not accidentally make stars or coins with your eggs, and to shoot bird as fast as possible without shooting too soon.
Yeah, due to the Super Effects 2 stuff, it is possible to generate a lot of lag by making stars with red eggs. So you want to avoid that whenever possible, especially on these boss fights. But looks pretty close so far. Looks like Kolthor, Or, and Yamayu are all pretty close. Kalko's only a few seconds behind. So, first auto-scroller. I guess this is a good time to mention that in pretty much every level, they will all be avoiding collecting any red coins or any flowers. The first red coin and the first flower that you collect will cost you 30 frames on the scoreboard when it's tallying up the score. So you'll see them try and avoid the first flower and the first red coin, and then after that, it's not something that they try to actively avoid. I think it's only one additional frame for each additional item that you lose on the score screen.
So whenever you have the option to avoid red coins and flowers without slowing down much, you'll want to take it.
And Horror specifically has done a lot of practice with some of the harder routes to skip red coins, because the 30 frames adds up.
Yeah, beyond that, there isn't a ton to this auto-scroller, so maybe we should talk about some of the basic movement mechanics in this game that you've already kind of seen a little of so far. So the main movement mechanic is that Yoshi's speed oscillates when running up or down slopes, and it's generally slower to run up and down slopes. So you're going to see all of these players jumping to avoid running on slopes constantly. And